Here coming to you with a brand new video, and we are live. So, as you can see from my title, we're talking about taking care of the emotions, negative emotions, because it is your enemy. And this is something that I personally dealt with for a long time. And this was my enemy, still is, because I still have to fight it on a day-to-day basis. It's not as bad as how it used to be because I am in control of my life now. But when I wasn't, when I weren't, when I weren't in control of my life, because the emotions took over and was running the show for a very long time, I caused myself a lot of problems there. So, Evan Carmichael said, "Your pain is your purpose." Well, if that's true, then taking care of the emotions, working on the emotions, dealing with the emotions, negative emotions, by the way, which is hate, anger, resentment, and you know those emotions. Then emotions would be my purpose here on this planet. So when I finally begin to deal with the pain of the emotions, when I finally start to deal with the pain of the emotions, was I think it was back in 2013 when those years I didn't really understand what was going on. My life took a whole different turn. I became a different person. Hey, Christy. I became a different person. And I just couldn't understand why my life was the way how it was. It, and I know for sure the place where I was working, I hated working at that job. I should have quit that job long time ago, and I didn't, right? What's the what? Gel? No, no, man. Huh? So, I hated working at that job because they told me something and then they go back behind my back and do something else, and I was not happy with the whole thing at all. And I took it personal. And that may be cool for the time, but it led me down a very dark path, I should say. I just wasn't myself anymore because I took it personal. You told me that this is how this is what these are the principles here at the job, where if you are there first, then you will get this position when it open because they give the positions to people to senior, the people who has been there longer. That wasn't what they did there. They went behind my back and gave that position to somebody else. And I found out about it and I just was not happy at all. What I should have done was go talk to the guy and said, "Hey, you guys said this, but that." And instead I kept it inside and I took it personal, and I just started becoming a bitter person. I changed. I just wasn't the same person anymore. That wasn't a good way how to go about it. That wasn't a good way how to deal with that matter, that situation. And that has led me to have quite a bit of unnecessary arguments with other people as well that I did not want. But it happens. I know I took it way too personal at the time. Fast forward, after I got out of that situation, now I'm trying to figure out now how can I recover and build myself back up here. What can I do now, because I felt torn down and broken down, when I came out of that situation. I was just I felt so betrayed, so disrespected, and bitterness couldn't even describe the way how I felt. Angry, anger, hatred, and all those emotions start coming out. After a while, by some magic happen, I discovered something called personal development. And I have been on that journey since 2018, I believe, when I got into this space here. Start to listen to these audios, and they are saying that you can actually make your life better than how it was. That was a blessing in disguise. What they did for me is because I went out and I found a different job, a better job, and that was cool for a while. But I realized that job was not what I really wanted so much. I wanted a change, a complete overhaul, change, I changed my life, change of environment, change the scenery, change the relationships, everything. So I started changing them out, little by little, bit by bit, piece by piece. And over a long period of time, I learned, you know, how to work on myself, because that was something that I wasn't, I have never really truly understand how to do it. But by listening to these audios and these guys, they will say things that needs to get done. I remember when I was driving one day, I was in Northern California. I couldn't remember exactly where I was on that street right there. So I remember I was listening to Les Brown, and he said, the decisions that you made 5 years ago, that is what you are experiencing now. Those decisions that you made, 10 years ago. And I look back and I said, he's actually right. Looking back and see how, you know, the things that I do all these years, now they adds up. So here I am now trying to right those wrongs, and trying to turn things around, trying to make better decision. So he said, if you want your life to be better 5 years from now, so he was like, if you want your life to be better 5 years from now, you have to make those decisions now, so that 5 years from now, your life would be better. And I thought that was interesting. I was like, is that how long it takes for these, decisions that you made to kick in? I found that extremely amazing. So yeah, exactly, Christy. It catches up to you. So that's exactly what I did. I started to make these changes, even though I was making mistakes, but I felt a whole lot better than how I was feeling. This is the best I have ever felt in my entire life. Because you see, I have, it's, you know, it's like a revival. Now I can start think about my goals and my dreams now. That was something I wasn't thinking about. I let those things go for a good minute, many years. I wasn't thinking about goals and dreams and what I want to do with my life and all that stuff. All I could think about was go to work and pay bills. So I wasn't thinking about my goals and dreams. Then eventually, um, eventually, start by listening to these audios, and these people are talking about life changing decisions, and I start to look at my life the way how it was, and I noticed the people who I was around, and I became very angry again. Right? Not that the anger went away, but it was just there. But this time it was for a different reason. This time it was for me wanting to do better than how I was doing. So I said, okay, I have to make another move. And I did that. As hard as it was, as painful as it was, I made that move. That was a huge move. And because that move I made, I eventually ended up where I am right now. So I begin to learn more about myself. I begin to understand myself a lot more, and I see the reason why I was the way how I was, how the anger that I experienced. I start to pay attention, and I realize that okay, one, nobody is coming to save you. That's one thing I learned very earlier on that journey. You'll hear these gurus that will say it. They said, there's just no savior. Nobody's coming to save you. You're gonna have to save yourself. That one I could understand because as a guy who expects certain people to help me, close people who are, these are my blood, and they didn't came through. That told me that, so I learned something from that. These people, I mean, if these people didn't help you, don't expect some strangers from somewhere else to help you. Not gonna happen. So there are no saviors. So what's going on here? You're gonna have to save yourself. In order for you to do the things that you need to do, because these things need to get done on a day-to-day basis, you have to get up, go out there and do things that you might not want to do. And I've been listening to these audios, and then one of them that I listen to over and over, they talk about discipline. I said that discipline is something that you can develop, and I set out to work on that. I'm not saying I'm the most disciplined person in the world today, but I have worked on my discipline to a high degree where I show up. I have one I have one superpower, and that is showing up. I show up day in, day out. Because that's what I know how to do. I just know how to show up. That's it. You can be bigger than me, stronger than me, faster than me. You can do all these things. You speak eloquently, you are good looking, you are tall, you are handsome, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm not worrying about any of those. Do you show up as much as I do? That's it. I show up very often, right? So work on my discipline, and so that way I can get to show up every single day. And I have been doing that consistently, showing up. So go back to the emotions. The emotions has fought me for years, or I have fought it for years. I lost most of the time fighting that battle, because I didn't understand how to deal with it, or or even what I was dealing with. I didn't even know how I got it. It's later on when I came across the work of Dr. Bruce Lipton. He was a cell biologist at the University of Wisconsin, I believe. Cell biologist at the University of Wisconsin. And he said something interesting. He said 95% of your life is coming from the programs that you were downloaded with from age 1 to 7. So these programs were given to you freely at birth. You didn't ask for them. Your parents, whoever your guardian, they just hand them to you. Hey, Jake, take this and go out into the world. When you turn, then Dr. Joe Dispenza said, when you turn 35, you are a repeat of those programs, those habits, behaviors, thought patterns. You are a repeat of those things. That's it. So you are just a repeat of those programs. Now it's on you now to change those programs, and you can. So when they said you can change your programs, I was like, what are you talking about? Changing those programs. Bob Proctor, he likes to talk about changing the paradigm. And he said, paradigms this is like a multitude of beliefs that we hold on to these things. We believe these things. Like me, I believe at one point that I couldn't do any better than I was doing, because I wasn't making any progress at all. I need this job, I need that job, and I get the job, then I hate the job because I realized it wasn't necessarily a job what I want. I want deep change, true change. So, changing myself was of utmost importance to me. Listening to audios, reading books helps a lot. But the game didn't really change until I got, when I add the fitness to it. Now, the fitness combined with reprogramming the subconscious mind changes the game. It reduces the emotions. I notice anger become less and less. The hatred begins to start to dwindle. The old paradigm was not strong. It was no longer as strong as how it used to be, because it was really strong at one point. Thing took over my life, run my life for a very long time. So the program was in the driver's seat, taking me wherever it wants to go. Now I am in a driver's seat. The program says go there, and I said, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm staying here. Changing in a mind. And then you're talking about shift in the mind. It's a shift, change. So I start to listen to these audios day in, day out. Same audios over and over and over. And I start to go on these long runs. And also, I start to lift weights. And then I learned later on that runners are typically happier. So I learned that runners are typically happier because runners release these chemicals called endorphins, which makes you actually happier. So these are like happy chemicals. People who are in fitness are typically happier people. But also, fitness also comes with something else. It makes you more attractive. So you are more peaceful, and you are also more attractive. And you are also a disciplined person. So disciplined, peaceful, and attractive. Oh, and by the way, you are in shape. Like I was running on the river trail here, I think yesterday. I think this guy, he saw me running every single day, or maybe more than once. He saw me running and he said, you must be in pretty good shape. And I said, yes, I am. Because I show up to the pavement every day and I put in the work. Right? So I decided, well, I have been running and working out. Today is day 558 days since I've been doing it. So I show up. That's it. Like I said, that is the one gift that the universe gave to me, is the gift of showing up. So today, day 558 days since I've been running and working out. I'm not saying you have to do this. You might not. You probably should. I don't know. Right? But that's just me. I like to show up and put in the work. Right? So when I got on this journey here of transformation, and I realized that I need to deal with my emotions. Now I said, this is my problem. Emotions are my enemies, and I need to deal with them. I cannot allow this thing to take me down. So I need to become aware of it, become aware of these emotions, and I'm not trying to control them, but I'm trying to defeat them, override them, overcome them, because they have held me back for so long. You have no idea how much suffering I endure because of these emotions. And one day I was talking to this guy one day because I work with him, and he said, the anger, oh, he said it holds me back for years because he was so angry. I can see the reason why, uh, So he said, he told me some personal things, so I can see the reason why he was angry about the whole thing, right? So lots of anger there because he should have made some moves and he didn't, so the man suffered. And I think that happens to us in life too. When we know that we should make this move and we didn't, and then when we don't, we suffer. I have those situations happens to me as well. I know I should make this move and I didn't, and I suffered. So when you get the calling, because at some point you are gonna get the calling to make a certain choice, make these a certain decision, and you have to listen to yourself. Dr. Wayne Dyer, being a famous guy all his, for a good portion of his life, and he was 65 years old at the time, and he got another calling things happened to him that he didn't possibly expect. Maybe he expected, but it hits him really hard. And he packed up his stuff and he head to Hawaii. He spent the next 10 years there. He died at age 75 up there in Hawaii. And he said when he got the call, and all of his books in his library that he has done in Florida, he told them, hey, I want he told his assistant, like, I want you to get rid of all of this stuff. Just give them away. I don't care. Give them away. I need to get out of here. I just want to go. Because, see, he got the calling, Right? Okay? So he got the calling. And he decided to go. And he said the same thing. He said, whenever you get that calling, you need to follow it. Anytime I disobey and do not listen to that voice that said, you need to do this, dude, I always suffered. Always, always, always. I suffered tremendously because of these things, you know? Disobey that voice that I knew so well, that I know so well. Now, these days, when I get a call in now, I don't fool around anymore. I just follow it. You need to do it. Right? So, controlling the emotions. You're going to understand people, places, things, circumstances. Start to pay attention to those things. Do I like this? Do I like that? Do I like this person? Do I like being around this person? So forth. And you start to pay attention to the whole thing. And it's a lot harder now for me to fall down or fell into those potholes or those traps anymore because I'm aware of them now. I'm walking down a different street. If I knew that there's something going on Main Street here, I'm walking down a different street. I am not doing it. I'm just not. And that's just how it goes for me now these days. I think there's, in my country, I think they have a song. It says, walk away from trouble if you can. I know my emotions is there to set me up to have problems with other people. And I have to be on the lookout and the watch like a hawk every single day, paying attention to this thing, making sure that it doesn't get out of control where I can control it. I look at the people and I look at the place, I look at the circumstances, I look at things. Debating is something that I like. And these days I avoid debating. I found myself listen to some people debate this morning. But typically debating is something that I love, and now I stay away from debating. I do not want to sitting down debating with somebody so that I can make them wrong or make them look stupid. I just don't. I don't want to. Right? I'm I'm avoiding those situations now. So that helps me to keep my emotions down. I don't have to try to defend anything. There's nothing for me to defend. If you are not here for a fist fight or something like that with me, and even then, I want to de-escalate so I don't have to, take things to the next level where somebody's gonna have to get hurt. I try to avoid those situations. De-escalation would be preferable for me. That way, I can get out of a situation and move on, go on with my life, and go do the things that I need to do. I have zero energy to put into hating someone. So I stay away from things that make me that would encourage me to become hateful or make me become hateful. I stay away. Even certain topics that I like and certain subjects that I like, I try to stay away from those subjects because they come with so much emotions. It's unbelievable who hates who, and you look different from me, so bad, this, you are that, and name calling and all stuff like that. And that's like one of the biggest problem I see. It's one of the biggest problem I see with, is the name calling. We're gonna have to get away from that stuff. Talking crap about people and talking crap to people. We can just eliminate so much of the headache if we do not talk bad about other people or talk crap to them as well. Respect is what most of us need as human beings. We all need respect. We want respect. I don't care who they are. I don't care what that person does. They still need respect. Am I saying you have to respect them? No, you don't. But the thing is, that is what they would like. They would like some respect. Respecting them. So respect them. And if you don't respect them, stay away from them. We do not want to interact with the things that makes us more angry or adds to our anger, irritates us. We want to stay away from stay away from things like those. The people who are the nicest, who cause us very little problems, these are the people who we want to be around. Are the people who caused us no problems at all. Are the people who we want to be around. The people who disrespects us, treats us poorly, we have to stay away from people like those because the truth is they don't respect you. And you have to take a look at that. This person doesn't respect me. That's how I felt when I was at that job. I'm like, these guys doesn't respect me at all. Right? So now these days, I look for the people who respect me. I look for the people who want to be treated with love and respect, and I issue that. Right? I'm from Jamaica. Okay. So we have to make sure that we keep our emotions in check. We're gonna look for the people who we interact with, who we are in a line with, who we can trust and respect and love, and we are going to gravitate towards those people and deal with them. I'm in the States, right? So no more of that stuff. Stay away from people who disrespect you because your automatic reaction is to disrespect them as well. And that's something that I learned. Stay away from people who disrespect me. That way, I do not have to disrespect them. Took me a long time to figure that one out. So now these days, I have zero energy to go around talking crap about people, disrespecting them. I do not want them to disrespect me at all. And we're going to be fine. Oh, cool, man. You're in Florida? That's awesome. Say hi to Fresh and Fit for me. So now these days, I figure out how to navigate through life to make sure that these potholes, because there's a game playing here. The more little you can fall down, the better it's better for you. We do not want to go hit rock bottom many times over. we don't need we don't need to go back to rock bottom again. We have been there many times before. So I'm cool off of going back to rock bottom. Now I just want a peaceful, easier life. I have lived a hard life before where it was really hard. Day in, day out, because I'm fighting a monster that I didn't even know exist. It's called my emotions. Now I know how to check them. Hybrid fitness plus training the subconscious mind reduces the emotions, makes me a lot more peaceful, makes me more attractive, um, put me in great shape, and I maintain these things. My vocabulary is better. I clean my thoughts, I clean my mind. My energy level is higher. My frequency is better. I bring more and more people into my life who are decent people these days. I'm not saying back in the days that I wasn't bringing decent people in, but not to the degree. The people now, they are higher caliber now. They can't help but to come in because I have grown myself. So these people become, attracted to me and what I'm doing, especially when it comes to fitness. Typically, my friends, they're in fitness, the people who I hang out with. All right. Well, all right then, folks. Ryan here coming to you with a brand new video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. Thank you very much, Isela. I will catch you soon in a new video. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Appreciate y'all. Thank you very much for being here. And I'm want to be talking more about this, topic here where you, you can reduce your emotions and change your life. All right, take care, folks. Bye for now.